Mm. Let's see. Shalom, shalom, shalom. Shalom. All praise Yahweh Shem Shah. His brother Ariel back again. Laws, wisdom, dietary, prophecy. Yeah, I love prophecy. Two, it's all right. So we left off at Genesis, uh, chapter. We finished Genesis chapter 6. So now we're gonna touch on Genesis chapter 7, 8, and 9, and then we'll touch on Joshua chapter 5 and 6, and then Proverbs chapter 5 and 6. So 7 chapters a day, and we're just gonna read through it. Just read. All right. It's the book of Genesis, chapter 7 and verse 1. And Yahweh said unto Noah, Come thou and all thy house into the ark, for thee have I seen righteous before me in this generation. Of every clean beast thou shalt take to thee by sevens, the male and his female, and of the beasts that are not clean by two, the male and his female. Of fowls also of the air by sevens, the male and the female, to keep seed alive upon the face of all the earth. For yet 7 days, and I will cause it to rain upon the earth 40 days and 40 nights. And every living substance that I have made will I destroy from off the face of the earth. And Noah did according to unto all that the Lord Yahweh commanded him. And Noah was 600 years old when the flood of waters was upon the earth. And Noah went in, and his sons, and his wife and his sons' wives with him into the ark, because of the waters of the flood, of clean beasts, and of beasts that are not clean, and of fowls, and of everything that creepeth upon the earth. There went in two and two unto Noah into the ark, the male and the female, as God had commanded Noah. And it came to pass after 7 days that the waters of the flood were upon the earth. In the 600th year of Noah's life, in the 2nd month, the 17th day of the month, and the same day were all the fountains of the great deep broken up, and the windows of heaven were open. And the rain was upon the earth 40 days and 40 nights. In the selfsame day entered Noah, and Shem, and Ham, and Japheth, the sons of Noah, and Noah's wife, and 3 wives of his sons with them into the ark, they and every beast after his kind, all the cattle after their kind, and every creeping thing that creepeth upon the earth after his kind, and every fowl after his kind, every bird of every sort. And they went in unto Noah unto the ark, 2 and 2 of all flesh, wherein is the breath of life. All right. And they that went in male and female of all flesh, as God has commanded him. And the Lord shut him in. And the flood was 40 days upon the earth. And the waters increased and bare up the ark, and it was lifted up above the earth. And the waters prevailed and were increased greatly upon the earth. And the ark went upon the face of the waters, and the waters prevailed exceedingly upon the earth. And all the high hills that were under the whole heaven were covered. 15 cubits upward did the waters prevail, and the mountains were covered. And all flesh died that move upon the earth, both of fowl and of cattle, and of beasts, and of every creeping thing that creepeth upon the earth, every man and every man. All in whose nostrils was the breath of life, of all that was in the dry land, died. And every living substance was destroyed which was upon the face of the ground, both man and cattle, and the creeping things, and the fowls of the heaven. And they were destroyed from the earth, and Noah only remained alive, and they that were with him in the ark. And the waters prevailed upon the earth 150 days. Right? So that's Genesis chapter 7. So that's the Lord killing everything. Right? Except for Noah's son and their wives. The Lord killed every damn thing. Lord of mercy. That's a flood right there. Genesis chapter 8 and verse 1. Hold on. This is Genesis. Genesis chapter 7. The Lord killed everything. Jeez. Killed everything. Lord of mercy. Trying to see. I'm like, okay. Let's see. Genesis. Okay. Okay. So this is Genesis. Genesis chapter 8 and verse 1. And God remembered Noah and every living thing and all the cattle that was with him in the ark. And God made a wind to pass over the earth, and the waters assuaged, and fountains also with the deep, and the windows of heaven were stopped, and the rain from heaven was restrained. And the waters returned from off the face of the earth continually. And after the end of the 150 days, the waters were abated. And the ark rested in the 7th month, on the 17th day of the month, upon the mountains of Ararat. And the waters decreased continually until the 10th month. In the 10th month, on the first day of the month, were the tops of the mountains seen. And it came to pass at the end of 40 days that Noah opened the window of the ark which he had made. And he sent forth a raven, which went forth to and fro until the waters were dried up from off the earth. Also he sent forth a dove from him, to see if the waters were abated from off the face of the ground. But the dove found no rest for the sole of her foot, and she returned unto him into the ark. For the waters were on the face of the whole earth. Then he put forth his hand, and took her. Put forth his hand, and took her, and pulled her in unto him into the ark. And he stayed yet other 7 days. And again he sent forth the dove out of the ark. And the dove came into him in the evening, and lo, in her mouth was an olive leaf plucked off. So Noah knew that the waters were abated from off the earth. And he stayed yet other 7 days, and sent forth the dove, which returned not again unto him any more. And it came to pass in the 600th, in first year, in the 1st month, the first day of the month, the waters were dried up from off the earth. And Noah removed the covering of the ark, and looked, and behold, the face of the ground was dry. And in the 2nd month, on the 7th and 20th day of the month, was the earth dried. And God spake unto Noah, saying, Go forth of the ark, thou and thy wife, and thy sons' wives with thee. Bring forth with thee every living thing that is with thee, of all flesh, both of fowl and of cattle, and of every creeping thing that creepeth upon the earth, that they may breed abundantly in the earth, and be fruitful and multiply upon the earth. And Noah went forth, and his sons, and his wife, and his sons' wives with him. Every beast, every creeping thing, every fowl, and whatsoever creepeth upon the earth after their kinds, went forth out of the ark. And Noah builded an altar unto Yahweh, and took of every clean beast, and of every clean fowl, and offered burnt offerings on the altar. And the Lord smelled a sweet savor. And the Lord said in his heart, I will not again curse the ground any more for man's sake. For the imagination of man's heart is evil from his youth. Neither will I again smite any more every living thing as I have done. While the earth remaineth, seed time and harvest, and cold and heat, and summer and winter, and day and night shall not cease. All right, so this is the Lord promising Noah that covenant that he would destroy all the earth, or all the creatures, and also save Noah, his wife, and his sons, and his daughters. Right? And Noah sent out the dove to see if there was dry land yet, a place they could inhabit yet. Right? So Genesis chapter 9 and verse 1, this is the Lord's covenant with Noah. And God blessed Noah and his sons, and said unto them, Be fruitful and multiply, and replenish the earth. And the fear of you and the dread of you shall be upon every beast of the earth, and upon every fowl of the air, upon all that move upon the earth, and upon all the fishes of the sea. Into your hand are they delivered. Every moving thing that liveth shall be meat for you. Even as the green herb have I given you all things. But flesh with the life thereof, which is the blood thereof, shall ye not eat. And surely your blood of your lives will I require. At the hand of every beast will I require it, and at the hand of man. At the hand of every man's brother will I require the life of man. Whoso sheddeth man's blood. Right, Genesis 9 and 6. Whoso sheddeth man's blood, by man shall his blood be shed, for in the image of God made he man. And you, be ye fruitful and multiply. Bring forth abundantly in the earth and multiply therein. And God spake unto Noah and to his sons with him, saying, And I, behold, I will establish my covenant with you and with your seed after you, and with every living creature that is with you, of the fowl of the cattle, and of every beast of the earth with you, from all that go out of the ark to every beast of the earth. And I will establish my covenant with you. Neither shall all flesh be cut off any more by the waters of a flood. Neither shall there any more be a flood to destroy the earth. And God said, This is the token of the covenant which I make between me and you and every living creature that is with you. For perpetual generations I do set my bow in the cloud, and it shall be a token, for a token of a covenant between me and the earth. Verse 14. And it shall come to pass, and it shall come to pass, and it shall come to pass, when I bring a cloud over the earth, that the bow shall be seen in the cloud, and I will remember my covenant, which is between me and you and every living creature of all flesh. And the waters shall no more become a flood to destroy all flesh. And the bow shall be in the cloud, and I will look upon it, that I may remember the everlasting covenant between God and every living creature of all flesh that is upon the earth. And God said unto Noah, This is the token of the covenant, which I have established between me and all flesh that is upon the earth. And the sons of Noah that went forth of the ark were Shem, and Ham, and Japheth. And Ham is the father of Canaan. These are the three sons of Noah, and of them was the whole earth overspread. Right. So this is the shame of Noah. Verse 20. And Noah began to be an husbandman, and he planted a vineyard, and he drank of the wine, and was drunken, and he was uncovered within his tent. And Ham, the father of Canaan, saw the nakedness of his father, and told his two brethren without. And Shem and Japheth took a garment, and laid it upon both their shoulders, and went backward, and covered the nakedness of their father. And their faces were backward, and they saw not their father's nakedness. And Noah awoke from his wine, and knew what his youngest son had done unto him. And he said, Cursed be Canaan, a servant of servants shall he be unto his brethren. And he said, Blessed be the Lord God of Shem, and Canaan shall be his servant. God shall enlarge Japheth, and he shall dwell in the tents of Shem. And Canaan shall be his servant. And Noah lived after the flood 350 years. And all the days of Noah were 950 years, and he died. All right, so Genesis chapter 9, touching on Cain seeing the nakedness, Canaan seeing the nakedness of his father Noah when Noah was getting drunk, right? But Noah was getting drunk in a safe haven, which was his tent, right? So Noah put a curse on Canaan, right? He's going to be a servant of servants. Canaan today will be also the Hamites, right? So now, first three books of the law, which is in Genesis, that we touched on. And now let's go into history in the book of Joshua. So last time we left off, we was on Joshua chapter 4, right, with Rahab. Joshua chapter 4, right? We touched on with Joshua infiltrating to the city of Rahab, having Israel cross over the Jordan River. And basically, when the Lord split the Red Sea for Moses, he did the same thing for Joshua, but it wasn't the Red Sea this time, it was the Jordan River, right? And they left 12 stones as a memorial and as a sign for Israel. And each stone represented a tribe of Israel. So now, Let's get Joshua chapter 5 and verse 1. So we're going with 3 chapters of Genesis. We did Genesis 7, 8, and 9. Now we're going to do Joshua chapter 5 and 6. And then we're going to do Proverbs chapter 5 and verse 6. Right? All right. This is Joshua chapter 5 verse 1. And it came to pass, when all the kings of the Amorites, which were on the side of Jordan westward, and all the kings of the Canaanites, which were by the sea, heard that the Lord had dried up the waters of Jordan from before the children of Israel, until we were passed over, that their heart melted. Neither was there spirit in them anymore, because of the children of Israel. The reproach of Egypt rolled away, right? At that time, Yahweh said unto Joshua, make these sharp knives, and circumcise again the children of Israel the second time. And Joshua made him sharp knives, and circumcised the children of Israel at the hill of the foreskins. And this is the cause which Joshua did circumcise all the people that came out of Egypt, that were males, even all the men of war, died in the wilderness by the way, after they came out of Egypt. Now, all the people that came out were circumcised, but all the people that were born in the wilderness, by the way, as they came forth out of Egypt, them they had not circumcised. For the children of Israel walked 40 years in the wilderness, till all the people that were men of war, which came out of Egypt, were consumed, because they obeyed not the voice of the Lord. So look, the Lord killed all the mighty men of Israel that came out of Egypt. So you could be a mighty man, but you're stuck in the ways of your enemies. And you don't want to follow the ways of the Lord. Be a soldier, how about you, Shai? Because they obeyed not the voice of Yahweh, unto whom Yahweh sware that he would not show them the land, which the Lord sware unto their fathers that he would give us, a land that floweth with milk and honey. And their children whom he raised up in their stead, them Joshua circumcised. For they were uncircumcised, because they had not circumcised them by the way. And it came to pass, when they had done circumcising all the people, that they abode in their places in the camp, till they were whole. And Yahweh said unto Joshua, this day have I rolled away the reproach of Egypt from off you. Wherefore the name of the place is called Gilgal unto this day. And the children of Israel encamped in Gilgal, and kept the Passover on the 14th day of the month, at evening, in the plains of Jericho. Genesis chapter 5 and verse 11 now. And they did eat of the old corn of the land on the morrow after the Passover, unleavened cakes and parched corn in the selfsame day. And the manna ceased on the morrow after they had eaten of the corn, of the old corn of the land. Neither had the children of Israel manna any more, but they did eat of the fruit of the land of Canaan that year. And it came to pass, when Joshua was by the Jericho, that he lifted up his eyes and looked, and behold, there stood a man over against him, with his sword drawn in his hands. And Joshua went in unto him, and said unto him, art thou for us, or for our adversaries? And he said, nay, but as captain of the host of the Lord am I now come. And Joshua fell on his face to the earth, and did worship, and said unto him, what saith my Lord unto his servant? And the captain of the Lord of hosts said unto Joshua, loose thy shoe from off thy foot, for the place whereon thou standest is holy. And Joshua did so. Now, when it's talking about the captain of the Lord of hosts, that's speaking about Yahweh Shai. Right? So even from that beginning, chariots and everything, that's about Yahweh Shai. Joshua chapter 6 and verse 1, the conquest of Jericho. Walls of Jericho, right? Now, Joshua chapter 6 and verse 1. Now, Joshua was straitly shut up because of the children of Israel. None went out and none came in. And the Lord said unto Joshua, see, I have given into thine hand Jericho and the king thereof, and the mighty men of valor. And ye shall come past the city, all ye men of war, and go round about the city once. Thus shalt thou do 6 days. And the 7 priests shall bear before the ark 7 trumpets of ram's horns. And the 7th day ye shall compass the city 7 times, and the priest shall blow with the trumpets. And it shall come to pass that when they make a long blast with the ram's horn, and when you hear the sound of the trumpet, all the people shall shout with a great shout. And the wall of the city shall fall down flat, and the people shall ascend up every man straight before him. And Joshua the son of Nun called the priests and said unto them, Take up the ark of the covenant, and let 7 priests bear 7 trumpets of ram's horns before the ark of the Lord. And he said unto the people, Pass on, and compass the city, and let him that is armed pass on before the ark of Yahweh. And it came to pass, when Joshua had spoken unto the Lord, that the 7 priests bearing the 7 trumpets of ram's horns passed on before the Lord, and blew with the trumpets. And the ark of the covenant of Yahweh followed them. And the armed men went before the priests that blew with the trumpets. And the rewarded came after the ark, the priests going on and blowing with the trumpets. And Joshua had commanded the people, saying, Ye shall not shout, nor make any noise with your voice, neither shall any word proceed out of your mouth until the day I bid you shout. Then shall ye shout. So the ark of the Lord compassed the city, going about it once, and it came into the camp and lodged in the camp. And Joshua rose early in the morning, and the priests took up the ark of the Lord, and 7 priests bearing 7 trumpets of ram's horns before the ark of the Lord went on continually, and blew with the trumpets. And the armed men went before them, but the reward came after the ark of the Lord, the priests going on, and blowing with the trumpets. And the 2nd day they compassed the city once, and returned into the camp. So they did 6 days. And it came to pass on the 7th day, that they rose early about the dawning of the day, and compassed the city after the same manner 7 times. Only on that day they compassed the city 7 times. And it came to pass, as the 7th time, when the priest blew with the trumpets, Joshua said unto the people, Shout, for Yahweh hath given you the city. And the city shall be accursed, even it and all that are therein, to the Lord. Only Rahab the harlot shall live, she and all that are within her, she and all that are with her in the house, because she hid the messengers that we sent. And ye in any wise keep yourselves from the accursed thing, lest ye make yourselves a curse when you take of the accursed thing. And make the camp of Israel a curse and trouble it. But all the silver and gold and vessels of brass and iron are consecrated unto Yahweh. They shall come into the treasury of the Lord. So the people shouted when the priest blew with the trumpets. And it came to pass, when the people heard of the sound of the trumpets, the people shouted with a great shout, that the wall fell down flat, so that the people went up into the city, every man straight before him, and they took the city. And they utterly destroyed all that was in the city, both man and woman, young and old, and ox and sheep and ass with the edge of the sword. But Joshua had said unto the 2 men that had spied out the country, Go into the harlot's house, and bring out thence the woman, and all that she hath, as ye swear unto her. And the young men that were spies with her went in, and brought out Rahab and her father, and her mother, and her brethren, and all that she had. And they brought out all her kindred, and left them without the camp of Israel. And they burnt the city with fire, and all that was therein. Only the silver and the gold, and the vessels of brass and of iron, they put into the treasury of the house of Yahweh. And Joshua saved Rahab the harlot alive, and her father's household, and all that she had, and she dwelleth in Israel even unto this day, because she hid the messengers which Joshua sent to spy out Jericho. And Joshua adjured them at that time, saying, Cursed be the man before the Lord that rises up and buildeth the city Jericho. All right. City Jericho. And Joshua adjured them at that time, saying, Cursed be the man before the Lord that rises up and buildeth the city Jericho. and he shall lay the foundation thereof in his firstborn, and in his youngest son shall he set up the gates of it. So the Lord was with Joshua, and his fame was noised throughout all the country. All right, so that's Joshua chapter 6. We'll lead off right there on Joshua chapter 6. So this is Joshua and Israel infiltrating into the city of Jericho. They had the priests compass the city, surround the city, right? 7 times. Walk around it 7 times, and on the 7th day, they blew the trumpet. And they was able to infiltrate the city, and the Lord told them, don't take nothing of the city because everything is going to be a curse, right? But like the jewelry, silver and gold, and the materials like that, it's supposed to give unto the Lord. But Joshua chapter 7, man. Let's just say, there was one guy that took something for himself. And Lord of mercy, was he put as a damn example, as a reproach, as they would call it, right? So let's get Proverbs chapter 5. We're gonna roll with Yahweh, and his name is full of power. Okay. Proverbs chapter 5 and verse 1. Right? Ending off a book of wisdoms. Proverbs chapter 5 and verse 1. My son, attend unto my wisdom, and bow thine ear to my understanding, that thou mayest regard discretion, and that thy lips may keep knowledge. For the lips of a strange woman drop as an honeycomb, and her mouth is smoother than oil. But her end is bitter as wormwood, sharp as a two-edged sword. Her feet go down to death. Her steps take hold on hell. Lest thou shouldest ponder the path of her life, her ways are movable, that thou canst not know them. Hear me now, therefore, O ye children, and depart not from the words of my mouth. Remove thy way far from her, and come not nigh the door of her house. Lest thou give thine honor unto others, and thy years unto the cruel. Lest strangers be filled with thy wealth, and thy labors be in the house of a stranger. And thou mourn at the last, when thy flesh and thy body are consumed, and say, how have I hated instruction, and my heart despised reproof, and have not obeyed Slaki. And have not obeyed the voice of my teachers, nor incline my ear to them that instructed me. I was almost in all evil in the midst of life, amidst of the congregation and assembly. Drink waters out of thine own cistern, and running waters out of thine own well. Let thy fountains be dispersed abroad, and rivers of waters in the streets. Let them be only thine own, and not strangers with thee. Let thy fountain be blessed, and rejoice with the wife of thy youth. Let her be as a loving hind and pleasant roe. Let her breast satisfy thee at all times, and be thou ravished always with her love. And why wilt thou, my son, be ravished with a strange woman, and embrace the bosom of a stranger? For the ways of man are before the eyes of Yahweh, and he pondereth all his goings. All right. Proverbs 5 and 21. Proverbs 5 and verse 22. And his own iniquities shall take the wicked himself, and he shall be holden with the cords of his sin. He shall die without instruction, and in the greatness of his folly he shall go astray. So now we're at Proverbs chapter 6 and verse 1. Let's see. Proverbs chapter 6. Proverbs chapter 6 and verse 1. This is Proverbs chapter 6 and verse 1. All right. My son, if thou be surety for thy friend, if thou hast stricken thy hand with a stranger, thou art snared with the words of thy mouth, thou art taken with the words of thy mouth. Do this now, my son, and deliver thyself when thou art come into the hand of thy friend. Go, humble thyself and make sure thy friend. Give not sleep to thine eyes. nor slumber to thy eyelids. Deliver thyself as a roe from the hand of the hunter, and as a bird from the hand of the fowler. Go to the ant, thou sluggard. Consider her ways and be wise, which having no guide, overseer, or ruler, provideth her meat in the summer, and gathereth her food in the harvest. How long wilt thou sleep, O sluggard? When wilt thou arise out of thy sleep? Yet a little sleep and a little slumber, a little folding of the hands to sleep. So shall thy poverty come as one that travaileth, and thy want as an armed man. A naughty person, a wicked man, walketh with a forward mouth. He winketh with his eyes, he speaketh with his feet, he teacheth with his hand, with his fingers. Forwardness is in his heart, he deviseth mischief continually, he soweth discord. Therefore shall his calamity come suddenly, and suddenly shall he be broken without remedy. These 6 things doeth Yahweh hate, yea, 7 are an abomination unto him. A proud look, a lying tongue, and hands that shed innocent blood, and heart that deviseth wicked imaginations, feet that be swift and run into mischief, a false witness that speaketh lies, and he that soweth discord among brethren. My son, keep thy father's commandments, and forsake not the law of thy mother. Bind them continually upon thine heart, and tie them about thy neck. When thou goest, it shall lead thee. When thou sleepest, it shall keep thee. And when thou awakest, it shall talk with thee. For the commandment is a lamp, and the law is light, and reproof of instruction and the way of life. To keep thee from the evil woman, from the flattery of the tongue of a strange woman. Lust not after her beauty in thine heart, neither let her take thee with her eyelids. For by means of a whorish woman, a man is brought to a piece of bread. And the adulteress will hunt for the precious life. Can a man take fire in his bosom, and his clothes not be burned? Can one go upon hot coals, and his feet not be burned? So he that goeth into his neighbor's wife, whosoever toucheth her, shall not be innocent. Men do not despise a thief, if he steal to satisfy his soul when he is hungry. But if he be found, he shall restore 7-fold. He shall give all the substance of his house. But whoso committeth adultery with a woman lacketh understanding. He that doeth it destroyeth his own soul. A wound and dishonor shall he get, and his reproach shall not be wiped away. For jealousy is the rage of a man. Therefore he will not spare in the day of vengeance. He will not regard any ransom, neither will he rest content, though thou givest many gifts. Yeah, that's a damn fact. So, all praise Yahweh Shem Shai, Proverbs 6, speaking about from 1 to, 1 to 8, all right? Lord saying, being humble, don't be lazy, don't be slothful, work, all right? Do the work of the Lord, provide, gather your meat, substance, before it's too late. I also could tie him with gathering knowledge, wisdom, and understanding, all right? Or you're going to be suffering, man. You're going to be broke. You're going to be a poor bum, as they will call it, right? Physically and spiritually. And then from there, it talks about a harlot and a man that committed adultery with another man's wife. And boy, oh boy, when that husband finds out, yeah, you done. Finito, as you would say, finish. All right. But once again, well, praise Yahweh Shem Shai. Bible reading again. Genesis chapter, where we start? Genesis chapter 7, 8, and 9. Joshua chapter 5 and 6, and Proverbs chapter 5 and 6. So we're just reading along, just to read, man, just to read. Blessed is he that readeth, and he that keepeth the words of this prophecy. All right, so let's read along. So once again, I'll be back with a breakdown for Genesis, and then I gotta get one of these books. Seems like a man is all the Let's see this one right here. Right here. I got this joint right here. Bible action. Only give me like all just. We'll be back. We will be back again. So with that, well, praise Yahweh Hashem Yahushai. Hopefully, brothers and sisters, enjoy the reading. And, you know, we got camp today as well, too. So, Sabbath class and camp as well. And then a reminder for those HOI, and other camps as well, too. Even, I think WFI and other camps as well. Reminder, the new moon tomorrow, mañana. Right? Unity new moon we got tomorrow. Right? In Illinois, Chicago. So with that, call me inshallah.